We're here in Queensland with Wayne Nicholson from Austops. Now Wayne, why are soft tops such a popular item?
Well, I guess because cars have been manufactured with soft tops on them.
Why do people need aftermarket soft tops?
Simon, generally aftermarket soft tops are made with different sorts of materials and don't have as much modern technology as far as welding and fusing them together instead of being sewn.
And what sort of major vehicles would be more popular with the soft tops?
The Zooks would have to be the starting point, Sierras and then the Vitaras in the early 90s.
And the old FJ40s and now the Jeep Wranglers as well?
Yeah, well, the FJ40s are generally more custom made, but there's kits available that you can just unbolt the hard top, fit it straight up onto a standard car.
Okay, now people are looking at purchasing an aftermarket soft top. What sort of quality manufacturing should they realistically be looking for?
They should be looking for something that has got little or no cotton content backing in the fabric, because that rots and mildews and generally doesn't last as long. The polyester fabrics that are available these days don't have as much shrinkage. That just is the basis of the fabric that makes it all the strength, because the rest of it's just a vinyl skin on the top.
And Wayne, I believe there are some really good Australian-made products around?
Yes, there are, Simon. There's the locally made fabric here in Australia has been developed for the harsh weather conditions we have from like North Queensland down as far as Tasmania, where it gets quite cold. So with overseas soft tops, as they age, their flexibility gets lost, and in the cold they'll crack instead of rolling up a curtain, whereas medium density plastics that can still resist a bit of scratching for out and off-road use. And even the PVC on the front of the hoods, the same sort of thing. Quite strong, what they've developed here in Australia with 100% polyester rather than the cotton.
Okay, and what about the construction of the actual soft top itself? Is it just a few sheets thrown together and stitched up?
There's a lot that goes into it. There's different methods of how they can be made, but really something that's sewn that gives the initial strength to join them on the seams, and then being welded over the top that waterproofs it completely.
Now, every soft top I've ever owned has had windows stitched in, but I heard you mention before welding.
It's been around for quite a few years, but it's not applied that much in normal soft tops. Being welded, it melts in the contact points, but it certainly improves the quality and waterproofing, which is what it's all about.
Now, if you're making up a complete unit that comes with its own frame, does the frame need to be adjustable?
No, not really, because once a hood's fabricated and made to suit the shape that it's going on and suit the body everywhere, it doesn't need to be adjustable. Some fabrics can have more stretch initially, but ultimately you end up with a top that doesn't shrink anywhere near as much. And anything that's got an adjustable bow, well, I'd be sort of seriously considering the fabric that it's made out of.
And Wayne, what about zips? I've had a lot of zips break on me in the past.
Well, there's sort of really only one manufacturer worldwide that's well known for its quality of zips, YKK. So any soft top that you were to buy, just make sure they're YKK zips.
And what about the stitching that goes into them, if there is any stitching?
Yeah, well, the stitching, because it's out in the weather and all conditions, 100% polyester thread, whereas most other motor trimming or soft tops will be a blended thread, and they're simply not as strong, and they shrink, rot, and they don't have the colour fastness that polyester does.
And what about the metallic fittings?
Yeah, all the metal fittings that are used from the factory would be just nickel-plated brass, you know, a soft metal, whereas I've always found stainless steel's a much better way to go. It's just simply got a lot more strength, a lot of clips, because they're out in harsh conditions of getting dust and so forth that builds up. The springs in these small clips will tend not to work, and that wears the soft metals and things are coming off. So certainly when you're heading home to the city again after being out in the bush, everything's got to be clipped up snug and tight, or you're just damaging everything and stressing the fabric.
Well, that's pretty much covered it, Wayne. Is there anything else involved in making a soft top the right way?
I think the windows are a really important part, major component of the soft top. Being tinted's a big advantage, certainly for the occupants of the vehicle, the temperature inside, and even looking after all the upholstery on the inside, stopping the UV rays. There are limitations with how dark it can be, the same as any tint that goes onto windows.
All right, Wayne, anybody who's looking at an aftermarket soft top, make sure that they've got good stainless steel components that go with it. Make sure it's a non-shrink, non-tear polyester material, welded windows, tinted if possible, that's the way to go, and make sure it's all polyester stitched.
That'd be the go, for sure. We'd like to see one on your car.
Wayne Nicholson from Austops here in Queensland, thank you very much for your time.
No worries at all, Simon. You're welcome.